Remember how I made a little short video a couple of weeks ago about how Holocaust education is for Israel? The reason why you know so much about the Holocaust, the reason why you were taught so much about it, the reason why it's so present in media, in culture, in the West, is to like subconsciously influence you, or even not just subconsciously, even very overtly, influence you into thinking that like Jews are innate victims and thus make you much more likely to support Israel. So I've said that same thing for years at this point. You know, it's not exactly new. Norman Finkelstein wrote a book on it 20 years ago. But now people, who are involved in Holocaust education are just saying it openly. There was this viral clip from Sarah Hurwitz, who is a former Obama speechwriter. She was also like a member of like a government commission during the Obama administration regarding like Holocaust education. And here's like this viral clip that's been going around doing the rounds of her outright saying precisely what I've been saying for years and what supposed leftist pro-Palestine people have been calling me an anti-Semite for saying, okay? How many times do they need to say it before it's just obvious? Like, they don't need to say it for it to be obvious because it's already obvious, but it's just further compounding evidence. I'm really glad I didn't already make the Holocaust education is for Israel video yet for the main, because I'm going to make a main channel version of that eventually, like a better one, because this clip is definitely going in it. Like, if I had made it earlier, I wouldn't have waited long enough to be able to put this clip in it. So let's watch this clip.
I think that since October 7th, but really before then, there have been huge shifts in America on how people think about Jews and Israel. And I think that is especially true of young people. So we are now wrestling with a new, I think, generational divide here. And I think that's particularly true in that social media is now our source of media. And this, it used to be that the media you got in America was American media, and it was pretty mainstream. It generally didn't express extreme anti-Israel views. You had to go to a pretty weird bookstore to find global media and fringe media. But today, we have social media, which is a global medium, right? Its algorithms are shaped by billions of people worldwide who don't really love Jews. And so while in the 1990s...
So you see, she's like, the problem is that the mainstream media isn't the only game in town anymore. They aren't filtering stuff to be pro-Israel, which for her means they don't love Jews. Like, if you want people to believe anti-Semitic tropes, this is how you get them to believe anti-Semitic tropes. She's basically saying, we don't control the media anymore. Like, what the fuck?
A young person probably wasn't going to find Al Jazeera or someone like Nick Fuentes. Today, those media outlets find them. They find them on their phones. It's also this increasingly post-literate media, less and less text, more and more videos. So you have TikTok just smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of carnage in Gaza. And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews.
So you can't have a sane conversation because people have seen the clear evidence of what Israel does.
Because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage, and I sound obscene.
Yeah, generally when you try to debunk videos of massacred children, you do usually sound pretty obscene, yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, the very smart, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education in this...
You see that, right? This bet we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education. Now, she's clearly talking about Israel here, so what she means by anti-Semitism education is Israel, right? We made that bet, she's framing it as a conscious choice, something that was done with the intent for that.
New media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit because, Holocaust education is absolutely essential, but I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, oh, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see...
So it's not? What is it then?
The powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
See, I told you, right? The point of Holocaust education isn't to tell you Genocide is bad and it can happen again, and we should try to stop it from happening again. The point of Holocaust education is to tell you, Jews are special. This was bad because it happened to Jews. You must support Israel. That's the point. She's just outright saying it right there. What else do you need, right? Like, they have expressed this sort of sentiment so much. Like, Zionists say this shit every 2 seconds. Like, the Los Angeles Holocaust Museum made a post saying, "Never again can't only mean for Jews." And then they got so much pushback from Zionists. One commenter wrote, "This post is beyond disgraceful. Whoever created, approved, and posted this should be ashamed of themselves. Our ancestors are rolling in their graves." For a post that said that genocide isn't only bad when it happens to Jews. Then the Holocaust Museum took down the post. We promise to do better, because as it turns out, Holocaust education isn't meant to teach you that genocide is bad and can happen again, and we should all be vigilant and make sure it doesn't happen again. Holocaust education is to make you think that Israel is good because it's Jewish, it's an eternal victim because it's Jewish, and thus anything that it does to anyone else is legitimate because it's Jewish, and it's always a victim because it's Jewish. That's the point of Holocaust education, okay? They're screaming it in your face, guys. Come on. I'm gonna get called anti-Semitic again for this fucking video too. It just endlessly happens. People who are supposedly on my side just cannot fucking help but screech anti-Semitism and do the work of the ADL for them.